All right. Party people in the place to be, vandals, and everybody else out there looking in the darkness. This is a brand new episode of How Did We Get Here? And tonight we're talking about some just like totally ultra violent comics, man, from the United States and Japan. Joey, what are we talking about tonight, buddy?
Uh, I don't know what order you want to go in, but first off, what I read this week for the show, we were trying to pick something, a couple quick reads that are easy to get through because short notice we didn't have anything planned for tonight, so we picked A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance by Rick Remender, Andre Lima Araujo, and Chris O'Halloran on colors. And great book, loved it, loved it, loved it. And we paired it up with a one of Johnny's favorites, a manga, Bambi and Her Pink Gun by Atsushi Kaneko. This was a really fun read as well. They're both quick, fun reads. The type of books we like: action-packed, ultra-violent. Well, this one was ultra-violent. The other one was violent. We'll take off the ultra, but it was still pretty violent.
Are you
When it
kidding me?
gets violent, it gets really violent. But I mean, this one was more relentless in the violence, whereas the other one was like when the violence is there, it's very graphic and gruesome.
I think Joe's tripping. I think Righteous Thirst is more violent than Bambi. Just saying. I guess like
I don't know,
Bambi's
man.
more cartoon violent, whereas Righteous Thirst, man, when you get to the light bulb shards and the Drano, like
That's what I mean. Like once you get to it, it's very graphic, it's very gruesome. But this one, she just like shoots people just for, you know, and like you see their faces exploding, and it, and it's like more gratuitous violence in this one than the other one.
yeah,
Like her attitude towards like killing is very nonchalant.
yeah, she's very apathetic.
Yeah.
She is not a hero. I guess she is a protagonist just because she is like the main character of the story, but
Hmm.
like she's not a good guy. She's not.
No, no. Well, anyway, we can dive into that once we get to dig into the nitty gritty of the books.
What's
Yeah.
up? What's up, Spanky man? What you doing?
Yeah.
I'm past your bedtime. I'm surprised you made it with this early message you left us. So good to see you,
Well,
brother.
yeah, he's doing some homework for Sunday's episode.
What you guys working on?
Sandman.
Oh yeah, oh, I
Yeah,
know how
so
that one's gonna go.
yeah, yeah, that's it. He's watching this Netflix series in bed, but now I guess he tuned in to take a peek into our show for a little bit there. Yeah, I think he said he was 4 or 5 episodes into the series, so he's about halfway through.
Yeah, he's just about to start getting into the dollhouse, huh?
Yeah, yeah, should be getting right about there. Yeah, exactly. He got to the Constantine part. I think that was maybe episode 3, maybe.
Yeah, I think that is the
Yeah,
third episode.
yeah, yeah. So he's working his way through. So yeah. So for a check-in, like I've been reading the last little bit of Sandman because I don't think I had, because we're covering the omnibus on Sunday on the End Pod, and I think I just didn't. I read the first 4 trades of Sandman and stopped there. So
And that's
I've
what the omnibus is pretty much. It ends at seasons of
five,
mist.
the first
Right?
five,
First
the first
five.
five
Okay.
trades. Yeah. So I'm reading the 5th trade. I'm almost done. Yeah. So I was reading that for the End Pod for my check-in. I guess I could use that as a check-in. Oh, now I just a few things popped into my head. I watched the first 4 or 5 episodes of Shorzy. That was Goose's naughty pick, not naughty, nice pick of 2023. The Shorzy. That's the Letter Kenny spinoff, the hockey show. I started watching that. I watched the first episode of Fargo, which was very good. I really enjoyed that first episode. Can't wait to get into more of that. Uh, on the last episode, I said I rewatched Deadpool, so I rewatched Deadpool 2. I hadn't watched that one in a while, so I rewatched that one. And well, obviously, I've been slowly rewatching the Netflix Sandman series. So yeah, and I love that cat episode. Such a good episode. I think that's my favorite one of the whole season. But
It's a really
I
good
love
show.
animals. Yeah, it is a good show. Great adaptation. Mm.
And that's
So
it for
what?
your pick, man?
Yeah, that's it. That's my check-in. Did I forget to mention anything? Oh, yeah, we finished off Murder at the End of the World. That's on is that a Star series, I think, that we watched on Disney Plus. So the last two episodes were up, so we finished out that series. That's kind of like a murder mystery. It was pretty good. It was worth watching. Clive Owen is in it. Uh,
Okay.
some I don't know who the actress is. Anyway, she was pretty good. Yeah, they go up. Clive Owen plays this billionaire who invites all these people up to these retreats to share like sharing of the minds, like all these like geniuses and stuff like that. And then a murder happens. If the place goes on lockdown, they're trying to figure out what's going on. Yeah,
It's like one of
so
those Mensa meetings, like where they get all
Mhm.
the intelligent people together, the meeting of the
Or
mind.
movers, shakers, people that have been. Yeah, exactly. Like yeah, exactly. Hmm.
That's cool. I'll check. I like Clive Owen, so I'll check that out.
Yeah, the twist on it's pretty cool. Like I didn't think of it, but yeah, the twist is pretty cool on it. So
I got a
very
couple.
very relevant to today, I'd say. Yeah. Hmm. So how about you, Johnny? What you got?
I got a couple of books I haven't read yet. I got the new issue of Drive Like Hell. I got
Mm.
the new #1 for Spider-Man 2099, just because I love the
Drive
character.
Drive Like Hell's on number 3 now.
#3, yeah.
Mm.
And then I got the trade for Where Monsters Lie. Like I can finally finish
Mm.
that.
Mm. Yeah.
I heard that that's a really good book. And then, yeah, I guess going back to what we talked about earlier this week, I rewatched Short Circuit to see if it
Oh
holds
yes.
up. And
Mm.
I personally really liked it. I don't think that a lot of young audiences will get too into it. I think that if you grew up with it, it's still a fun watch. But yeah,
Mm.
it holds up if you grew up with it, in my opinion.
Mm.
That's the rating I'll give it.
Cool. I'll have to rewatch that because I love that movie when I was
Johnny
younger.
Five's still one of the coolest robots ever, man. And like just the I don't know if they did puppetry or if he was remote controlled or what, but just he looked so real, like the way he moved and all this stuff. He's still like one of the best looking ones in my opinion. And the motion
It
and
must
everything.
be all remote control. I'm thinking it's all remote control.
They might have did a little bit with puppet, you know what I mean? Like having him on strings so like they could move him in certain ways, but like that's the only other thing I could think of is maybe a little stop motion with him and then
Hmm.
remote control with the rest of it.
Yeah, because I think robotics back then were. I'd say he looks pretty much like what you'd see in robotics from back then.
Newton Crosby, our butts are blazing for you. Right on, Spanky. Uh, but
Yeah.
yeah, man. Getting into the topic at hand, we picked kind of a funnily auspicious book to talk about this week, and I swear I had no idea that like Epstein was going to be in the news when me and Joe decided to talk about.
Well, we decided on like I was going through like books and like I was like, oh, Righteous Thirst, I have it. Is it quick to read? And you were like, yeah, it's pretty quick. So, and we were talking before we came on air, and like I'm aware of the whole Epstein thing. I don't listen to the news. I don't follow the news cycle. I don't like I'm not in the loop. Basically, I get my news through Pat, my wife, and so like when you were saying like you didn't hear anything, I was like, the only thing I heard is was it last week where who's that football player that dresses like Nick Cage from Con Air? He used to Green Bay Packers. I forget his name. Anyway,
I
uh,
don't know. Did he get caught?
no, he said he came out and said that what's his name, Jimmy
Oh,
Kimmel
that's
was
right.
on
Okay.
Epstein's list, but without just like that, just to jam him up, right? Without any kind of anything to back it up. Yeah, so that's the only Epstein news I was aware of that came out in the last couple weeks. So,
Well, all that happened is like some of the court documents got unlocked and some names that were brought up during the investigation got put out. Not all of them are actually people that like were involved with him, from what I understand.
mhm,
Not that the media cares. Like from what I understand, anybody that's on that list is pretty hosed. You know what I mean?
mhm.
Regardless, kind of like what you said. But like, yeah, from what I understand, Kimmel has not even been mentioned though. So yeah, like I guess that like he somewhat threatened to sue. I didn't know that dude
Yeah,
was a
that's
football
it.
player. I thought he was a comedian that said
No,
that
he's a
shit.
quarterback. He's a
Okay.
quarterback. He's a very diva, like head up his own ass type quarterback.
But yeah,
He,
we're talking about Righteous Thirst of Vengeance by Rick Remender and Joey said, art by
yeah.
Andre Lima Araujo, and like we kind of talked about with uh, David Rubin in Cosmic Detective, like sometimes an artist will step up and like steal the book, and like in my opinion,
Mhm.
this is Andre's book, man. To tell you
Yeah.
the truth, Rick
And
Rick wrote the hell out of this thing, but like I like Andre brought this thing home. I mean, it is
yeah.
just such a beautiful like visual book. It is cinematic as hell. It is a movie on paper.
All right.
See you,
Night Spanky.
Night Spanky.
Yeah. And I think Rick set it up to really like probably
Oh no,
pick this. Probably picked Andre. He's like, I've got the perfect project for you that you can like just. Here's my script. It's gonna be all you, right? Like you're gonna have to tell the story, right? Through. Mhm.
and he picked a hell of a guy, man.
Mm.
And
Like
not
how?
just alone, but does this book totally star Benedict Wong, the actor Benedict Wong?
Oh yeah, for
Because
sure. And I think Rick probably wrote this character with Benedict Wong in mind because they obviously developed a relationship from Deadly Class when they filmed the series. Because I think Rick was pretty hands on when they did the filming of that series, and they must have built a relationship. And I think I saw a few pictures on social media with the two of them taking pictures together and something back from when Deadly Class was running on Sci-Fi. So after meeting, he was probably like, "Fuck, I've got the perfect like." I'm sure even before like this wasn't happenstance. I think he wrote this with him in mind. I think it's safe to say. I have no proof of this. I haven't asked Rick, and nor would he return my DMs probably if I did ask him. But, but I think it's safe to assume that he definitely wrote this with him in mind for
oh,
sure.
just how Sonny's drawn, and throughout the whole book, it's not kind of like how in that Punisher book where like they kind of drew him looking like Morgan Freeman and then changed a
Then
little bit.
changed, yeah, after because
All the
legal.
way all the way through this book, man. Sonny is Benedict Wong, man. No offense.
Body type, everything, man. The little stash, the little bit of facial hair. It's him. It's him. And who knows? Maybe did it with maybe it's already sold. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe it was already sold. The script was already sold before the book was even finished or even started to draw. I don't know. Anyway.
Before we get into the synopsis, though, Joe, how do you feel about this book, man? How do you like the storytelling? I kind of really like the way it drops you into it, and like
Mm,
when you're reading it the first time, you don't see all the little clues. Like you kind of everything kind of catches you by surprise when you go through it the first time, but the second time you go through and you see like oh everything was so deliberate, you just
yep.
didn't realize it the first time through, man. Like how did you feel about that? Did you pick up on that the
I
first time through, or did you
I
kind of
love I love the way that I love this. There's no exposition. There's no narration, right? The only words in this are the actual dialogue between characters. There's no inner dialogue, no inner narration. So you don't get like the narration bubbles of what the character's thinking. So it I find it really pulls the reader in. It really makes you become part of it. Like it becomes a much more intimate story to the reader, right? And yeah, I just loved it. I love the fact that you're learning everything at the same time as the characters, right? Because there's no exposition, there's no narration. So yeah, it's you're learning everything as it goes, and yeah, and like you said, visually, you got to pick up those cues. You got to be paying attention. Like when I watch movies, I often pick stuff up in the backgrounds and stuff like that. So it was fun. Like, and when I get a book like that, like this isn't a silent comic. There is dialogue, like you know, very minimal, but there is some. But I loved it. I think it just creates a much more. I don't know. It makes the pacing so much better. You know, I
yeah.
love it.
Well, and it
And
also makes it so much fun to go back and go through it several times because you pick up on so much more of it each time. Because the first time I remember going through it, it was kind of just a breakneck story that I kind of didn't see what was coming next, And then not until I read the whole thing and kind of went back through it a couple times that like I started seeing all the like kind of telltale signs that like told you everything that was going on the whole time, which I think is pretty genius storytelling, man. Like,
Hmm.
is it makes it white knuckle ride the first time through, which is very enjoyable. But then you get the complete acknowledgement read throughs later on, which
Hmm.
are gratifying, and I gotta reward something that gives you like that much replayability, that much rewatch value in it, like, and for a short book too. I mean, 11 issues, but like I said, like after you kind of read it a couple times, you can blow through this book like I don't know,
Hmm.
probably go through both trades in under an hour, like we were saying, man, no problem in under an hour.
Man, and there's so many people that come to mind when, like, for casting. Like, if this was to be made live action, man, there's so many actors came to mind real quick.
And it would be a great film.
Yeah, it would be. It would be a great film. Yeah. Another one of
And
those like unlikely hero type stories, kind of like what's the one with the Better Call Saul guy,
oh, the Nobody.
the Nobody, kind of like like a guy, an unassuming guy, right? That you wouldn't think would be the hero, like Benedict Wong. He like it would just be great, like not that typical action star in the role, the main role of the action, So I
Well,
think it would be fun.
that's the cool thing about this book too, is like he's not an action star. He's a total idiot. You spend like the
You find
first
out,
trade,
yeah, what he is after a while. It comes up, yeah.
like reading the first trade, you're kind of yelling at the book, at the character, like you fucking idiot. What are you doing?
Yeah. Well, we
You
could get
gotta,
into it now if you
yeah,
want to start. We could get into the
yeah.
synopsis and we could get into it because there's some scenes where you think, oh, okay, this is, but then you realize you're like, oh no, this totally isn't, like, yeah. So the synopsis basically, this takes place in BC, Canada,
And
right out west,
Vancouver, yeah.
Vancouver, yeah. So you got the Benedict Wong, who is the, isn't it his that last name's Wen, right? Sonny
Yeah,
Wen.
Sunny Win,
Okay,
yeah.
Sunnyland is our main character. But we could, what's the synopsis on the back? When an unassuming man stops a vicious dark web contract assassins from killing their target, he turns himself into one. A quiet, atmospheric slice of life story with sudden bouts of unique and brutal violence. Would you say that pretty much sums it up pretty good?
I mean that's vague, but I mean it's
Yeah.
definitely a good hook. You know what I mean? I'm glad it didn't try to it didn't get too deep into it, like
Yeah.
because like this book's got some pretty good highs and pretty down lows. I mean, there's like one issue in this book that's like one of the most feel good things you'll ever read, which is kind of funny because the rest of the book's pretty turmoil and toil. You know what I mean? But there's
You're
just like this
talking about
one,
the last issue?
the second to last, yeah, the shrimp
Yeah.
taco issue, man. Like it's
Oh, you like that?
beautiful.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right, so let's dig into this, man.
All right, yeah. So like it just starts and you get this guy, Sonny, he's just kind of bombing around town. He gets himself some cigarettes. He it starts raining, so he tries to catch a bus and you kind of see that how nice of a guy he is. He lets these old people go on the bus ahead of him even
Ahead
though
of
it's
him.
just raining down on him and he ruins his cigarettes. So like he's got to get back off his bus and that kind of introduces him to a very auspicious meeting to with this guy in a convenience store buying duct tape and Drano and light bulbs, and he kind of lets loose on this guy, kind of cusses at him at first, and then like he's like, "Oh, dude, I'm sorry, man, I'm having a bad day," so kind of lets him go, and they
Mhm.
he kind of goes about his day, and like when he goes to try to get back on the bus, he sees this dying bird, and this
Mm.
kid kind of tells him that like, "Yo, I know that I'm supposed to take care of it or somebody is, but like, what if I just heard it worse? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to have that on my conscience." And
Mhm.
like, Sonny's kind of like that too. He gets on his bus and then gets back off the bus to go and help the bird, which makes him miss his bus and then gets stuck in the rain again.
Again, yeah.
All this time, we don't really know what he's up to. You know what I mean? Like you don't
Which
know.
also makes him late
Late, yeah, to what
because
we.
on his cell phone he was looking at. He's going somewhere on his cell phone. You see, he has a map quest out and he has a destination, and all this is like you'll see later on. But like him coming back for the bird, missing his bus, it makes him late to what he was on his way to do. Yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
And now, like you're saying before, you get these little clues. Like now that I'm going through back, like you said, he misses his bus, he gets there late. You see the bus stop coming, and your
and you
first
see
thing is that car
the green car.
pulling
Yeah,
out. Yeah, that's one of the first ones. Yeah, is the green car. Now that I'm going through it again, I'm like, oh, I know that green car.
yeah. It's going to
And
be a
if
big part
you're
of the book. Yeah.
and you see the green car one time before that too, if you're paying attention, like a few pages before as well. But I knew there was something up with that convenience store. Someone who buys alcohol in Drano, man. Don't trust anyone that buys Drano. I always
And
thought that. Yeah.
and this is kind of when we kind of see that Sonny doesn't really know what he's doing because he's kind of like touching everything.
Mm-hmm.
And because he stepped on the bird, he's also leaving bloody footprints all over this crime
Yeah.
scene or whatever this scene is. We don't really know what it is. It's a very kind of just weird setting. Like there's just kind of this noise going on that we see as the kettle, and like
Yeah.
there's this dinner set up, but there's nobody there to eat it. And then we kind of first see the first like true brutality of the book. Man, Sonny comes into the room and just sees these people with light bulbs stuck in them and Drano like bottles taped to their mouths, like a really, really hardcore Takashi Miike shit right here, man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then, boom, he's not a complete idiot because right away, right?
Yeah, he
He gets
sees
a
like
flashback. Yeah, because he helped the guy put his groceries back in the bag, and he's like, holy fuck, these are all the same things dude bought at the grocery store like a couple hours earlier.
he literally had those same objects in his hands at the
Exactly.
store.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
exact same, yeah. So he's able to like even tell like these are the ones that I held.
So his fingerprints are even on the Drano and everything, right? Because he touched them at the convenience store.
Well, this is where it shows him a little smart because he starts cleaning up a little bit. They show him
Wiping down, yeah.
wiping
Yeah.
down, but of course, like he still leaves the bloody footprint
Yeah.
on the concrete leaving.
Yeah. And I mean, it's the pacing's great. Like it wastes no time, right? There's no, like I said, no exposition, no nothing. It just boom, very cinematic, a very cinematic graphic novel comic.
Yeah,
I
and
love that cover.
that's our first issue, man. Like
Mm.
that's a hell of a hook, man. Like Rick
Mm.
always know how to get them hooks into you right away.
Yeah.
And so the second book is like him. He goes back to his place and like he gets his mail, and you kind of you get a little foreshadowing. You see that like he got some test results. They never quite tell you what they are though, but like it comes into context later in the book if you're picking up on this stuff. But yeah, and so like he kind of realizes that he messed up a little bit, so he's kind of just going around town doing things. Like you see how he kind of operates though too. You see he's got a USB chip, and like he's going on the dark web and looking at this wet bear site. He's looking at these jobs that are being taken on by this character called the Blue Jackal, who we now know is the Psycho. But we don't really know who like these people are, why they're being taken out. But like he knows that there's a new one that's going to be killed tonight. Her name's Neva Romero, and like even if the cops get called, they're not going to respond to any 911 calls to that area this night because
It's set
because
up.
it's set up. Yeah, it's just they got their juju working, man.
Yeah.
Which
Like the Blue Jackal, man. Know who I thought of right away when I saw him?
that who you gonna say?
Jude Law.
Jude Law, really?
Yeah, I thought he looked just like him. Just dye his hair blonde, man, and it looks just like him. I found. Why? Who are you thinking?
Oh man, I forget his name, but he's in everything nowadays. That guy that was man, he played the Corinthian in Sandman.
Oh, okay, yeah, I could see him for sure.
I mean, like he's like the little blonde psycho that's in everything right now, so he's just really easy to come to mind. You know, he was just in Justified. He was just in what's it called? Indiana Jones, Evil
he was
Little
in
Nazi.
Justified. Okay.
Yeah, he was the new bad guy in Justified. He was Clement Manzale. He was actually a pretty good Boyd Crowder wannabe. yeah, we get to kind of see like
The
the
cops
like
show up at the
yeah,
crime scene.
kind of two of our big upcoming main characters in a weird way. Yeah, you get the crooked cop, and then this guy you're not too sure about. He's a health nut, and like he's prime detective. He like runs to the crime scene and stuff. He's kind of a funny character. Like
Yeah.
Rick's got some of his good humor going on in this book. There's some stuff that's shouldn't be as funny as it is. Like, but yeah, basically like the one cop, he's just trying to get out of there. Like you can tell that he's crooked, and like he completely
Mhm.
forgets the bloody footprint, which the good cop kind of sees and kind of points out, and he's kind of like, I guess that guy's eyes aren't what they used to be. You know?
Yeah, kind of just put downplaying it, you know. Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. What's his name? Isaac? Is that it? Isaac is the cop who runs to the site. What's the other cop's name?
I forget what the evil white cops.
Kuro. Kuro. Detective Kuro. Yeah. I mean, I'd get John Hamm to play Detective Kuro. Put a stash on him. I think he would be pretty good.
John Hamm.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, no, I know who John Hamm is. He was
Yeah,
Mad Men, right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, get him to
Superman
play the
looking guy.
dirty cop. Yeah, get him. Put a mustache on him there. He's got the dark hair. I think he'd have like the that
See,
personality. Yeah.
I'd go with Michael Shannon.
Oh, yeah, but he's too mean looking. Like right away. You need someone who's charming, right? Who can pull like like if you're gonna be a dirty cop, you got to be charming at least, or else people are gonna think you're dirty right away.
Michael Shannon's just too big of a giveaway.
Yeah.
Straight up.
uh, yeah.
Especially with
So
the mustache, he is really creepy. Like if you ever saw that movie, The Iceman, where he had like that evil
yes.
mustache.
Yeah. Yeah. But definitely, he's got a bad guy's face right off the bat. You're like, that dude's not up to no good. Yeah. All right. So we got what's his name? Benedict Wong is back at
Yeah, he's
his
hitting the
apartment.
streets. He's kind of just mobbing around, like he getting drinks
Mhm,
and stuff, and then he goes and visits his mom.
mhm,
And like this is where you kind of realize that like he knows that like he's stepped in it, and he knows that he's in trouble. He's
yeah,
kind of telling her that like, "Yeah, I'm probably not going to come around anymore. You know what I mean?
mhm,
And you try not to worry about me too much." And this is kind of where you get a little interested in him, because like you don't know what's up with him, because he kind of goes up to the lady at the desk and he's like, "I
mm.
trust you," and he just dumps this big bag of money in front of her, and he's like, "You take care of her, all right?"
So that makes you think he's like into
Crooked, like,
crime or crooked, something crooked, right? Because he's dumping all that cash, right?
yeah, how did he get all that money, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's like where I was like, oh, wait a sec, like maybe he is like a dirty dude. So that's what that sets up this next scene perfectly. Yeah, where he goes to the job.
Right. Yeah, and dude, like this shouldn't have been as funny as it is, but like the other hit man is so funny. So basically, I think he was just coming early to warn Neva, right? Like he didn't think that
Yeah.
anybody else was going to be there, but like this other guy was Nancy too, because I think it might be one of his first jobs, and he's trying to show off. So he's there, and he thinks that Sonny is the blue jackal,
Hmm.
and so like he's
Hmm.
like, okay, since we're both here early, let's take some speed together. You know what I mean? Be tweakers
Yeah.
and go.
Yeah, because the Blue Jackal has a reputation, right? So this guy's like he wants to impress the Blue Jackal. Yeah, man. Right away when I saw this dude, I'm like, get Kevin Durant to play him.
Kevin Durant, yeah,
Yeah, he's got that like give him like the same look that he has in the Strain, where he goes in and he's big, intimidating. So it'd be perfect for the coming up for the scenes coming up. Hmm.
maybe Casey Affleck. Kind of looks like Casey
Yeah,
Affleck.
little scrawny guy, but then I think Benedict Wong could totally overpower Casey
Yeah,
Affleck.
straight up.
You want these next scenes coming up to like kind of make sense, like
Yeah,
yeah. So they're going in for the hit.
and like I love the way they show this. His heart's just beating through his chest while the guy's
Hmm.
like picking the lock, and they're going in. and like they're sneaking up on this chick. She's just grooving, cooking. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
like he's sweating because he does not know what he's going to do. This guy's there to kill this lady, and
Hmm.
Sonny just wants to stop it and save her. You know what I mean? That's his main goal. But like
Yeah.
he has no plan at all. What is
Yeah.
up, Zod? Good year, brother. How you doing, man?
Yeah. Happy New Year, Zod.
Happy New Year, bro.
Hmm. Yeah. These covers are fantastic. I love these covers. So that's issue two, where boom they surprise Neva, and then you like, what the fuck's gonna happen? Next issue opens up like a lot of Rick Remender. You know, I'm not gonna let you know what happened on the cliffhanger right off the start. I'm gonna like torture you for a bit on the next book. You know.
Yeah, and it kind of shows us how into our villains world they kind of show us this stuff without any context. Like you said, there's no narration, so like you just see kind of this guy like doing some gross stuff at kind of like this bondage party. Meanwhile, he's getting calls from the guy in the house, basically like filming, saying kind of getting instructions from this fella, whoever he might be,
It's
on the other side
Epstein,
of the
man.
phone. Yeah, or Anderson is his name in the book, and
Yeah.
yeah, but like it's very clear who he's an analog of.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. So yeah, he's got that girl with the weird contraption on her head. I don't know what that's for, but anyway.
Yeah, I think it just was supposed to be disturbing, you know what I mean? And it worked. But like, yeah,
Maybe it's
this
maybe it's maybe it's a bird cage, and people call their wieners birds sometimes. So you stick the bird in the cage.
I don't think I've ever heard that, man. I've heard British people
No.
call girls birds before, but
Uh,
I've never heard anybody call
I
their
don't.
wiener a bird before. I don't think that's a thing. I might be wrong though. If I'm wrong, it might, maybe it should be a thing.
Oh shit. Yeah. All right. So we're back at the apartment now. Rick tortured us long enough before we find out what's going on with Neva and the hitman
And we
crew.
get the kind of really funny scene because like Sonny, he's just tripping, man. Like he does not know what's going on. So like they're getting basically like this guy's expecting him to go to work because he thinks he's like this sacred psycho, and like Sonny's just tripping like so this guy's like, fucking Jesus Christ, never meet your heroes and stuff like that. He's like really disappointed that the Blue Jackal is like totally not performing up to
Mhm.
expectations, which is pretty funny. And like he's not really that cool either because Neva straight like bashes him in the face with the pot of boiling water and really gets over on him right at first, but like he kind of knocks her out, and then like he hands Sonny a camera to take pictures of them, and like he drops the camera and breaks. So he's just like, fine, go get my car, go get my car, get it ready. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'll take care of it myself.
Hmm. Hmm. So at this point, when you kind of realize now, like, okay, now you realize before he got late and those people got killed. So now you're really starting to get a full picture of what's going on now, because you realize for sure, without a doubt, he's not a killer. He's going on these dark websites, and what he's doing is going to try to warn these people ahead of time. And that's why he shows up early, is to get there before the assassins show up to kill them, to assassinate them. Hmm.
And yeah, and basically like he's instead of going and getting the car ready, he picks up a knife and he's gonna try to take out the assassin, and like he screws everything up, man. It's pretty funny though. Like you're kind of cringing, but like giggling a little bit at the same time. Like the way that this book is paced is very masterful, man. Like it is a really good action film on paper,
Hmm.
and somehow he's luckily able to get a hold of the guy's keys, and like he stabs him in the cheek and then in the neck, which like allows him to bleed out. And so Sonny's able to
Yeah.
escape with Neva, which you think it's kind of a bright spot. You think like, oh, finally he got away. You know what I mean? Like this is all
Hmm.
going to work out really good. You know what I mean? which
Yeah. So he's in the elevator. They're going down,
and
riding in the night. Then he drops his cigarette on her foot, which wakes her up.
drops his butt on her foot. Yeah, and she like totally grabs the steering wheel, kind of wrecks his little Honda Civic a little bit, and basically like she tells him that like she was not alone in the house. She has a son, Xavier, and they have to go back and rescue him. So he kind of checks the dark web again to see if like anybody knows that like the job's been foiled already, because like there is a chance that like they could go back and get the kid and nothing be a problem. But basically like he ends up finding out through the phone that like they're on to him, like he's burned.
Yeah.
But they go back anyways. But like meanwhile, like the Epstein guy and his main minion, they're talking about how they're basically already on to Sonny because of his prints that he left at the first crime scene.
Yeah. His cop on the inside.
But yeah, basically they're able to get back to Neva's apartment, and they basically he sees Creeper outside the house when they get there, but they get to Xavier before anybody else can, you know what I mean? And Sonny gets a gun. Not that he's gonna do fuck all with it. Oh, man. Like I said, you're gonna spend parts of this book kind of yelling at Sonny, kind of like if you're one of them people that yell at your TV, like I kind of am sometimes with certain movies.
Just that scene is just so good, where he's driving past Jude Law.
Oh yeah,
and he just has his phone out filming him. I love that. I laughed so hard when I saw that. I was like, oh man.
it's so creepy, man.
It is. Like the look on his face too, and it's just like, and he's staring right at the camera too, like, what the fuck? Like, dude, now they have your face like dead to rights,
And he kind of gets away, but like they get stuck behind this truck and this homeless guy, and like I don't know, like they end up getting almost caught by dude, man. Like, and Sonny has his gun on him and doesn't shoot him. It's like, what the hell, dude? Like, honestly, but we wouldn't have a book if Sonny shot Blue Jackal in the 4th issue. So yeah, like,
but he's not a killer, right? So
yeah,
and he does try to pull the trigger. Click, click. I think the safety's on. Yeah, because he didn't take the safety off. He does try to shoot him, but the safety was on because he doesn't know what he's doing. And then the jackal starts running after Neva. Yeah.
And then it basically catches him in the alley, and Sonny gets him again. And basically the Blue Jackal psychs him out by like basically reciting their first meeting in the convenience store, saying exactly what he said back to him. Like, I'm sorry, man, I'm having a bad night. Kind of freaks him out. But luckily somebody's a badass. Neva like just straight smashes Jackal with the bottle, and they kind of make a getaway for a little bit.
Yeah.
Which is funny because like the homeless guy gets stopped by the crooked cop, which is kind of it's like,
they went down that way. Fucking crazy people tonight.
Some really funny scenes in this book. Like Rick's pretty good at that, man. Like when he's not trying to just be completely depressing. Like this book has like some really good comedy to like its drama. You know what I mean? Like I'm kind of happy that he like made this one of his mixed books. You know what I mean? He didn't just straight.
And these characters, I find these characters just come to life right off the page, almost like like you could totally visualize like the action in your head. Like it really, all these characters come to life. Like he fully fleshed them out really well, I find.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know much about them, but they do not feel like really one-dimensional. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, exactly.
Out characters.
Oh yeah, Jackal's beyond a scumbag, man.
That's a double entendre from Zod Rider. I don't want to get into it on air, but yeah, I'll talk.
Oh, it's an inside joke?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, basically, he ends up going to like this bar kind of up further in British Columbia, and you see like this creepy guy outside, which is kind of a cool red herring they throw at you in this book. There's kind of nice little things that they throw in to kind of try to throw you off, but like it makes it like one of the strongest books in its genre, at least in the past couple of years. And I love the way they kind of show this kind of like weird redneck bar in Canada, especially in Vancouver, British Columbia, because like that's supposed to be like one of the more, you know, metropolitan
Seedy,
places. Yeah.
and it's got a very seedy uh, like underbelly to Vancouver. Yeah.
So he meets with this dude at the bar and like basically kind of gets in with him and talks to him about getting a couple passports and credit cards so he can get Xavier, Neva, and himself out of country, which is going to cost 10 grand. Which kind of also making me think again, like, man, how is this guy paying for all this stuff? Which it does get answered, man. Like I am keep bringing this back up because like these are things that do get resolved in the book, which I really, really like about it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so then, as he's talking to the bartender, boop, his face pops up on the screen
yeah,
saying
see,
he's a killer.
yeah, that he's like actually the one that's wanted for pretty much the Blue Jackals crimes. When
But then the bartender gets annoyed at him because he sees him, he's not paying attention to him as he's talking to him. He's looking at the screen. So he just grabs the remote blindly and turns the TV off. So just he got lucky there that no one really got to see the TV with his face on it. I love that. That's pretty good.
and basically, yeah, he's got a setup. So like he's going to meet with them at the range time. I think 10 hours later, and he basically gives her the gun and says like if I don't come back, you take off. You know what I mean? And good luck to you. You know, like I tried my best, and it does. It goes south right away. Basically, the bartender knows who he is and isn't going to be helping him out. So Sonny smokes him, and uh, she kind of shows up in the car and like saves them all. But man, she gets shot up. Man, everybody gets shot up. Like this is like the end of the first trade. Like, and it is such a brutal one because they get hit by a truck and like smashed into a tree. And like the way this book left us, I thought that Little Man died too, man, because he asked Xavier to get up and like he's not moving. So Sonny's trying to get out of the car and like the guys are coming down the hill out of him and they all get shot up. And then
Yeah,
it's
when I
outside
yeah
the bar that you thought was the bad guy that actually came and saved him.
yeah, and like when you see the Neva get it right, you're like, oh shit. Like you thought she was maybe going to be along for the whole ride, him, you know. But then we forget, like this isn't your typical action type scenario where the main character, which is Sony, isn't really a trained tactical person. So for him to be dragging another person around with him is like, not typical. So I guess it makes sense that they kill off Neva and everything. But man, I was like shocked when I saw that. I was like, oh shit, here we go. It's gonna get dark.
Well, I mean, I knew that it was a revenge book, so like I was wondering, like, is it going to be him avenging them, or like, because I was still at the end of this arc, not sure like exactly where this book was going, what it was doing with the tale that it was telling, and like not even until it was done did I really like understand like what the narrative of the book was. You know what I mean? Like, I,
Yeah,
did you?
yeah, like that's the first trade right there, right? The first five issues. Yeah. So I could see that first trade. You read that and you're like, what the fuck? Right? It gives you it kind of makes more it doesn't really answer too many of your questions, right? Yet. Just yet. Mm.
Really at all?
Yeah.
Which is good, man. Like for noir, man. That like especially for the way it is now. I mean, I love like how much noir there is, but so much of it is samey. And like this one came out, and like there's no narration. You know what I mean? They cut like one of the key tenants out. You know what I mean? I like that it kind of stripped it back down, and it really did its own thing with showing its teeth the whole time. Like,
Yeah.
there's a boldness to it that I really, really appreciate.
Yeah. So far, like the first five issues were fantastic. I loved it. Issue 6. So now we're
Going
out in
trade.
the deep woods. Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, we kind of join Sonny, and we see that he's shooting targets, and we find that he's actually learning how to shoot finally. He's getting pretty good at it too, according to the guy. But like, of course, it's not moving targets; it's still targets. So,
Mhm, mhm.
and you see that like he's part of kind of a commune, and like there's people doing all kinds of things. There's a guy that like makes the apples and all that, and like basically Sonny's kind of becoming a part of it, but like he doesn't have his place yet. But we do see that and I thought that this was a nice relief. I thought that they killed the kid because like I didn't know until like I got the second trade that like
Mm,
Xavier was still alive. So like I thought that that was really heartwarming, and I really like the closeness of the characters. I think that that kind of really brought about this second arc and really kind of brought the story home. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Gave Sonny like a purpose, really.
yeah. Xavier's alive, but he isn't speaking because of all the trauma he suffered. He refuses to speak. But it's nice they have that little school in the commune and everything for the
And
kids.
basically Sonny he's scared for his mom, and like he's talking about like how he wants to get a message out or try to go see her. And this is kind of where we get Sonny's backstory, because the guy to prove to him that like Sonny's not ready for it, and like how you know fragile that he is. Basically he basically tells him like, dude, I know who you are. You're an insurance investigator, and like you basically accidentally stumbled upon these guys doing an audit, and through the dark web, and and that's how you got involved in all this. And like that's how we find out why he has as much money as he does, and like who Sonny really is. He's actually kind of a good dude, even though he might not be in the best profession ever. But yeah, he's an insurance investigator, and like but like we still don't know why he needed to act on it the way he did. That kind of comes across along later in the book. But like, yeah, that's what got him involved. Is like he ended up seeing it on accident during one of his audits, doing an investigation.
Yeah.
And so like basically Sonny still really wants to get word out to his mom, but like he accepts that where he's at. He's not going to push it. You know what I mean? So he kind of they have a nice dinner, him and Xavier. He sees that Xavier kind of is sad that like a lot of the people there, even though they're living in the camp too, they got a full family and stuff. So Sonny kind of tells him a fart joke, trying to liven the mood up, and it's pretty cute. You know what I mean? And it shows that like he's reading him uh Treasure Island, you know what I mean? Trying to give him as much of a normal childhood as he can, and given the
Mhm.
circumstances. But also, this is where we see that the jackal sadly caught back up to them once again.
Mhm. Yeah, he's filming it.
Yeah,
Not for
which is
nothing, he's a
creepy.
legend.
Yeah, well, that's the neat thing, because like I was wondered like why he films everything, and they even tied that in up too. You know what I mean? Like even though like there's no narration, and like you got to work to get to like all the answers in the book, like everything gets answered. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
That's pretty cool. You don't get
Yeah.
that with a lot of other books, to tell you the truth.
Mm. Yeah. The cover on this one lets you know something's coming.
Yeah.
Got the kid running and crying. Mm.
And basically, yeah, Xavier gets up the next day. He's all charged, man. He's eating apples, but he sees a cell phone on a tree stump, and when he opens it, like he sees the dark websites basically showing him Sonny and his mom, and it says you're not safe. So he kind of like runs away, kind of doing the dumb little kid in a movie thing, which I kind of wish they didn't do, but whatever. It needs to be done
Yeah.
for the story. And yeah, basically the blue jackal gets a hold of him. But this kind of leads to like a cool character turn, man. The crooked cop that's been helping him finally says it's enough, man. Like this is getting gross. I'm not going to help you anymore. And he tries to save Xavier, but the blue jackal like totally tears him up, man. Like cuts his hand in half. Like it's gruesome, man. Like the
Oh
gore and
yes.
it's gnarly,
Oh,
man.
stabs him right between like the fingers. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
but
That gave me ugh, like goosebumps, the heebie-jeebies when.
oh, and then he sticks the dagger into his cheek. Like, oh man, like the gore in this book, it'll make you cringe a little bit, man.
Mm,
It does. It did me, man. And like,
yeah.
I kind of try to pride myself in like being kind of hardcore with that stuff a little bit, but
Mm,
and this book's got some pretty gruesome stuff to it.
mm.
And
Oh yeah.
yeah, And we're gonna get to more of it, man. This is just the warm up. Like this next issue is pretty gruesome, and basically like you see that Xavier's been brought to like this cabin, and I guess that he's feeding him Drano. Like I'm assuming that's why like he's puking so much while
Yeah,
he's it's nasty whatever he's doing.
yeah, I think he is. He. That's what I thought too. Is the he put some Drano in it because you see the cereal and the Drano are on the counter together. So you
Also,
get that.
because he's so sick, you know what I mean? I don't think it'd be
Mhm.
regular food making him sick like that.
Yeah, yeah, he's got some shit coming out of his nose and stuff. Oh yeah, it's definitely he's a sick, twisted bastard. That jackal. And what's the guy's name that helps out Sony? That's part of the compound. They'll got dude with the beard knows everything.
You know, I forget what the hippie guy's name is, man.
Jimbo, over here. Oh, Jimbo. Okay, I see it right here. Jimbo.
It is Jimbo. Okay.
His name's Jimbo. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, basically, like they've come across the crooked cop, and like he goes to try to find Xavier. Meanwhile, Sonny kind of finds out, and like he's like running to the woods too to try to find where they are. And yeah, he gets to the cabin, like goes in, finds the TV, finds little Xavier, and gets scared by a light. Man, I'm like, God damn it, Sonny, you're just getting tough. Like, and he gets snuck up on by the jackal. He sees the Jimbo got jacked up. He's got his guts hanging out all over the floor,
Yeah.
and the jackal knocks him out. And God damn, like you want to kind of get people ready for like what they're gonna see, man, because like this is where the book gets gnarly, right, Joe?
It gets graphic. It's like now you don't just see the results. You're like getting a step by step like you know how you get like step by step instructions of to put IKEA furniture together. Well, you're gonna get a step by step instruction manual of how to torture like the jackal does. That's pretty much what's coming up. Yeah. And one of his favorite things to do is breaking light bulbs and just slowly shoving the little shards into wherever he feels like it, on your face, on your belly, on your wherever. He just takes his time too. You can see he doesn't rush it, right?
No,
It's
yeah,
art.
he,
It's art. He's creating art. So he's taking his time doing it right. Yeah. Mm.
but like you said, smashed light bulbs, and then yeah, just into the skin, and then like I guess he pours the Drano into it, so it gets into your bloodstream. Like that's just that's just too much. Why do all that? But like he's not even going to stop with that. He gets a corkscrew. Like, oh man, poor
Mhm.
Sonny. Like this.
Blowtorch and pliers
Yeah, he's gonna like do something not nice
to his bird.
to his bird. But like Jimbo gives Sonny a sliver of glass. You don't really know what happens with it. But yeah,
Mhm.
while the dude's heating up the pliers, Sonny slips it out the shard of glass out of his mouth and just right into Jackal's eye, man. And then is able to get up and like, damn, dude, that is some like Herculean strength right there to be able to get up and fight in that shape. But
Well,
like,
the adrenaline must be flowing now that he's loose. Like now that's it. This is my last chance. I'm dying. I'm dead, right? It's now or never.
and he goes
Mm.
ham on him with the tripod, dude. Like straight up shanks his ass, and then like basically runs over and gets his Drano, and then pours the Drano into the hole in the neck that like he cut with the tripod. It is so gangster.
Gave him a
Like,
taste of his own medicine.
like damn.
Choke on it, motherfucker. Yeah. So he fucked him up good. So you don't know if Xavier's gonna make it, right? He's puking. He's sitting there. He's looking like he's not in very good shape. Won't open his eyes. So Sony's fearing the worst.
And then like Rick gives us a nice one. The next time jump though, like we jump to ahead and like they're in Mexico now, hiding,
Hmm.
and they got a kind of a nice thing going on. And this is like that really nice issue that I was telling you about. Kind of heartwarming, and
Yeah,
basically Sonny gets urgent test results, and they don't really spell it out for you, but like he's got cancer.
yeah.
Sonny's been dying the whole book, and like it's really onset now. So he is going to do all he can with Xavier with what little time he has left, and that's kind of what we get
And
to.
I think that kind of explains why he started trying to help these people that were on the
Well,
hit
he
list.
did it when he wasn't ready yet. You know what I mean? Like why he just jumped
No,
head
but I
first.
mean, like, because he's dying. Yeah, exactly. Because he's dying, so he figures he wants to try to help save as many people as he can before he dies, to feel like maybe he's accomplished something good in his life aside from just being a uh, insurance claims investigator. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of the motivation. Do something that would make his mother proud of him, right? Mm, mm. Then we get to
And
your favorite part, man. He's picking up some shrimp
yeah, oh man,
at the market.
this issue makes me so hungry. I love tacos. Like tacos and burritos are the best food in the world. And yeah, the shrimp tacos are so good. And I love this face that like uh Andre drew of them when they eat it the first time and like, oh, they look at, oh dude. Like
At each other. Yeah.
that's what nails this book so much, man. The human responses and like, yeah, they go swimming and then they go like hang out with each other on top of this mountain that they hang out on top of sometimes. You know what I mean? Really touching stuff. And then
Yeah. Yeah. The little story about him and his mom, how he used to have anxiety, and his mom would make him list out all the things that he thought would go wrong. And then she finishes, but after he's done, she finishes by asking him, "But what's wrong right now, in this moment?" Right? So that kind of teach him live in the moment. Mm, love that. So awesome. And after telling the mom the story, what happens? She's sitting on his couch.
yeah, they come home and she's there waiting for him.
Mm,
And yeah, and like this is where the nice piece is shattered. The henchmen have caught up to him, and there's a huge shootout, man. But we see that Sonny is finally ready, man. He goes full Max Payne on these motherfuckers, dude. Like he is just
yeah.
mowing them down. He's able to get his mom and Xavier out, but like
Well,
sadly,
he got Xavier ready for this day. Like if ever it happened, this is the plan, right? They had a plan just in case this happens. Mm. So he knows exactly what to do. And he's turned into quite the badass. Eh? He's taking guys out, getting headshots, fucking diving, rolling on the ground while shooting. I mean,
yeah, that's what I said, man. He's like straight up Max Payne here for a minute.
yeah, yeah. He's yeah. I mean, but the book is realistic enough. You can only take on so many guys, right?
Yeah,
Mm.
and sadly, Sonny gets blasted, man.
Mm.
And but Xavier's able to get away with Sonny's mom, and he's rescued by the cop from British Columbia, the health nut cop, the one that we weren't sure about, who actually turns out to be a good guy. He is able to save Xavier, and
Oof.
I guess he
Yeah,
basically becomes his new benefactor. You know what I mean? His new Sonny.
yeah. And I think this is such a. I love this death for Sony, right? Like, I mean, you think he's got terminal cancer, so isn't this such a better way to die?
I
In a
think
shootout, letting Xavier get away, like you sacrifice your life so Xavier can get away. Like, I mean, then sick, in pain, going through treatments in a hospital bed, withering away. I think it's a much better death.
yep.
I think he's in heaven smiling right now, thinking, I did the right thing. Xavier got away. Yeah. It's a good death. Good death for Sony.
And then we get the nice wrap up. Basically, 10 years later, the news was finally broken out about Mr. Anderson, aka our uh, Jeff Epstein fill-in, and basically he is going to jail. But like, it's pretty realistic. Like he's going to like this Club Fed type place, man, like this Olympic swimming
Yeah.
pool, and they're letting him turn off his cameras to do blow and all kinds of stuff. And
basically, if you and I went to a place like that, we'd have to pay a couple grand to stay
yeah,
in a place, like go on vacation in a place. Basically, what we would pay to go to vacation on, he considers a jail or a prison, or so shabby it's not even, it's beneath him, right? So his jail cell is nicer than most hotels I'd go to on vacation. He's a scumbag.
yeah. But yeah, and he's actually about to get out. They're going to parole him, but he gets a secret visitor one night. A new guard joins the ranks. It's a kind of a darker young fella, comes in with some party favors for our buddy, and basically tells him that he's going to be doing the rope dance tonight. And oh, it is so nasty the way that they showed like just the turds running down the dead guy's leg. Like
yeah,
like did he have to draw it like that? Like it's so nasty. I mean, I know it's realistic.
chunky. Yeah, it's like a little chunky and stuff. Yeah, I love the twist though.
Yeah, and basically, yeah, it's Xavier and the other cop. They were able to sneak in there and get him. And man, I love this last little kind of flashback that they do with Xavier riding in the car with his hand out the window, remembering being with Sonny that last day. You know what I mean? At the last page, like, oh man, just brought it home that one last time. Just a great little ending for the book.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, and it has all this deluxe edition hardcover has all the variant covers. It has character design sketches. And look, there's this character here. I would love to know. I'm gonna have to read, but you see this character here, that girl with the tomboy cut. She's not in the book, so I'm wondering if originally that was supposed to be the Jackal or what.
I think
but
maybe
got a bunch of.
I think maybe she was supposed to be the other hitman, like the dude that like never meet your idols guy. Maybe she was
okay. Maybe, yeah, that's it. I'm wondering, yeah, because there's another, like, was Jimbo supposed to be like? Then there's this big girl here with a gun, who looks like a survivalist. Like, was that supposed to be the Jimbo character, like, originally, and then he switched it? Like, there's a bunch of these characters that I'd like to know, like, what happened to these characters? Like, why weren't they used? What way did you go? And here's the cop. I think this must be variation on the cop. Right there.
Okay. Yeah.
Because there's some characters in here you see there's variations on them, right? Yeah. So you have Jimbo here with someone from the compound. Another girl from the compound. Right down there.
Yep.
So you see the characters design like coming out, but like,
so
tell me that's not Jude Law. Like, look at that sketch right there, right here.
Okay, that actually, you know who that looks like? That looks like that Ed Skrein guy that just played Francis in Deadpool, or he was the bad guy in
Rebel Moon.
Rebel Moon. Yeah, he looks like Ed Skrein, or however you say his name, Francis.
Yeah, I could see. Yeah,
but he's another everything too. So like, yeah, that'd be casting. He's always a bad guy. I don't think.
Yeah.
I think Midway's the only movie I've ever seen him play a good guy in, man.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, the deluxe has like scripts, page breakdowns, so it's nice, and it's pretty cool because it's got the gloss finish and then Sony's like a matte finish for Sony in it. It's nice. It's a nice edition, nice deluxe edition hardcover.
Yeah, man, I like Images hardcovers, man. I hate dust covers. I love when they print actually on the actual hardcover itself. So like, I always prefer like the way Image does it.
Hey Juan, how's it going?
Oh, Juanillo's here?
Yeah, Juan's in the chats, man.
So Joe, like, where would you put how would you rate Righteous Thirst for Vengeance, man? I give it a 9, right? A 9 out of 10, like all the way.
Yeah, I'd give it. Yeah, I'd say that's fair. definitely really solid. Like a lot, this made a lot of people's book of the year last year. I think. Eh? The
Yeah,
year end list. This was on a lot of people's list as the best book of the year for 2022 or 2021. I can't. I don't remember when it.
because of
I
issue
think.
9, man. The shrimp
Yeah.
taco issue, man. It brought it home for so many people. It is such.
See, I think this series started in 21 but wrapped up in 22. So it made a lot of people's year end list last year. And justly so. A great book. Great book.
Yeah, man.
Juan stopped at issue 3. Oh, it was. I loved it. It was good.
Damn issue.
One of Elle's favorite books from last year, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
like,
Elle.
she really liked issue 9. She loved the shrimp taco issue.
Yeah, Mel as well. I think she really dug that one too. So yeah,
Well, it's a good
good.
it's a good comic, man. I mean, it brings it home on so many levels. It's got the gore, it's got the humanity, it's got the heart, it's got um
The action,
action, good characters. You know what I mean? You
good
actually care
characters,
what happens to
heart.
her.
Yeah, heartwarming moments. Yeah, it's got everything. It's a Rick book, man. It's got it all, and he's so good at his endings. I gotta hand it to him. I love his. He knows how to close out a story.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like he really does know how to end them, which is a hard thing for some guys. You know what I mean? For some
Hmm.
writers, I mean, some
Hmm.
of my favorites they can't end their series to save their life. So,
No.
like,
Yep. Yep.
so you still want to talk about Bambi, or do you think we should save her for later?
I don't know. We told people we were gonna talk about it, so I say let's talk about it.
I wasn't able to find pictures, so you're gonna have to throw.
Yeah, yeah, no problem. Yeah,
So,
man.
like this book, I mean, it's pretty nuts, right, Joe? Like, how would you describe it, man? Like,
Well, basically, it opens up. You got this young girl with this kid. You're not sure what's going on. Supposedly, she's 16, from what I read in the synopsis. She's a 16-year-old girl. Okay, so and she just has to deliver this child to these who she calls old men, right? And and then it's like, and it's all happenstance. Like these people, these hitmen get the letter for the hit on her because this who she stole the kid from or kidnapped the kid from, the father, who says that he's the parent of the kid, or they make it ambiguous, so you're not sure who the person that wants the kid back is. Puts this hit out on her for what is it, 500 million yen
something
or
like that.
5 million yen, and they get it and they're like, oh, whatever, never in the world. And they walk into the store and she just happens to be there. So all these people just that find out about it just happen to like stumble upon her per chance, and it creates all these wacky, weird, super like high action, ultra violent
Well,
scenarios. Yeah.
it's more like she keeps going from territory. It's more like the Warriors. She keeps going from territory to territory, running into different people assigned to these areas that are looking for her. Is more because like yeah, that's kind of the way it goes. She keeps running into more and more advanced, I guess, hitmen you could call them, but like some of them are commune. Like in this one, like yeah, she kind of has to fight the Skull Gang at the end and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like
See, like chapter one opens like that. Her in a convenience store with kid, right? And all it's all like this pinkish, dark pinkish. There's no blacks. It's just black, well, black and white, but with like this pinkish tone. And like when we were talking, like right away, I got the same vibes as Jen Woodall's
magical beatdown.
Magical Beatdown. Gave me the same those same vibes, and that book's pretty violent too. So I don't know if Jen got inspired by this when she made her book, but it wouldn't surprise me if she did. Like, I mean, this is a fun book. Like, and let's see, let's get a good page here. Uh, yeah, and she's got the kid on one of those kid leashes, like parents used to. I don't know if parents still do that, where it's around the wrist, and you have your kid on a leash. Anyway, she has one of those so she doesn't lose the kid. But yeah, like, I mean, the book's full of like great pages.
Well,
It's good
yeah,
stuff.
he does like these like really small panels where he like really spreads out his action among.
Oh yeah. See, this is her going to town on some thugs. Like, and she's a pretty good shot. She takes people out.
Yeah, she got a
And there's
big
no,
desert eagle as her weapon of choice.
yeah, a desert eagle that's painted pink. And she kills without hesitation, right? No,
She's
no.
an asshole. Like she pretty much only I mean, you don't even know what her motivations are. Like she just doing this for the chaos of it. You know what I mean? And, like you don't. She doesn't seem to like the old men. She doesn't want to help Pampy. She kind of just wants to watch her
Yeah,
little teddy bear show and shoot
yeah,
people.
yeah. And the kid doesn't have a name, right? So she like comes up with the name Pampy.
Pampy, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Oh, this is a good one. The crime boss here, where he's all warty and stuff. It's so gross. You get the warts from his skin.
yeah.
No, like, and then he's like, no, we're not getting involved with these fucking hits. Right? He's like, nah, he forbids his, and this is where it's like the 40s mobster shit, right? And when I was looking into it, and it's true, someone's like, each chapter deals with a different type of, like the first one's like the mob. Then it goes, it's like a western where she fights a bunch of cowboys. Then another one is like a gang of skulls, like more punk like. So each chapter, she, like you said, it enters a different territory or a different era of cinema almost. You know, yeah. And it's just that. It's fantastic stuff, man. Fun read. It's really violent. You know. Yeah.
Yeah, it
And
really reminds me a lot of the really crazy Japanese movies from the '90s, man. If you watch stuff like Wild Zero or like Burst City or Electric Dragon at 80,000 volts, like this is like right on that same kind of level,
yeah.
just like on paper.
Yeah, here's a chapter break. The chapter breaks are great. I love the designs of his chapter breaks. Yeah. It's good stuff. Like all the chapter breaks are fantastic. You get that teacher who's like an assassin.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite part, man. Like I know it's so messed up, but the email from the kid at the end of that chapter is so fucking funny to me.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna,
I'm gonna die now.
I'm gonna die now. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's brutal, but like it's so dark humor. But like, oh, dude, that's my type of shit.
Taking on the school teacher.
Yeah, that's the guy I was talking about. That got the garrote wires that come out of his wrists.
Yeah.
I was talking about.
Yeah, when I thought you said Rottweiler, yeah. I mean, and look, I mean that chapter break with the guy in his backpack. Love that.
That
Look at
character,
the
he's
details.
such a shit too. He's probably my favorite character in the book, though. Like the guy that she saves in the first chapter. That's tracking her.
Tanahashi. Yeah, a man called Tanahashi. That's his chapter where he goes to that. What's the concert? The
Gaba King.
Gaba King.
Gaba King. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you love me? Do you love me? I love me.
Love me. Yeah. Kind of makes me think of the what's the Silence of the Lambs? What's his name? Bill.
Buffalo Bill. Yeah, hold this up.
Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me. Yeah.
Yeah, those are the pages I'm talking about where he does like all the mini panels to show all the action, man. Like I love the way Atsushi Kaneko does his action scenes, man. Like so fluid.
Yeah, sorry, Juan. This book, it was hard to find. This is something I found used from a library. Like, and I was lucky to find this for $15. Like, volume 2 is going for like $200-300. I mean, it's a shame. And how many volumes is this? 6 volumes total, Johnny?
6. Yeah, that are available in Japanese, French, and Italian. But like, you can only get the first 2 in English. And good luck finding volume 2.
Yeah, only 2 have been translated to English. So if you can order something from some European store or website, you can find it. You said French as well?
French, Italian, and I think German. Like those
I'll
countries.
have to, yeah. Here's another one where you said he breaks it down into small panels. And I love that touch of the not blacks, like none of the inks are black, you know? I love that. Adds so much style to the book.
Well, what sucks is that like you guys can't see book
Yeah.
2, it's like he changes the ink color a lot more in it. It starts with blue, and then it goes into like this red, and then like it kind of I don't know. It's almost like it does like a starburst type thing where it like
Who's your main villain?
the
The,
God King. I
yeah,
love me.
he's like a vampire Elvis type character looking motherfucker. Mm. Japanese love Elvis, eh?
I think yeah.
I mean, a lot of people love Elvis, not just the Japanese, but
They also he's got that like underling that reminds me of that dude from Lost Highway, man. He looks just like a
the pale face guy that killed his wife or something.
yeah. It looks like what's his name?
Blake, is his name Blake something?
Robert
No,
Blake, right? Yeah, Robert.
Robert Blake. Yeah, totally looks like him, right? Yeah.
Yeah, right out of Lost Highway, man.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's great. Like I love. Like look at that. Good stuff. I mean, like
I love
coming
his
up
art.
through here. Yeah, at the concert where everyone's going crazy. It's good stuff, man. Love it.
I really hope that like his name is kind of buzzing, but like I hope that this Search and Destroy book gets him popular over here. So like more of his stuff will get translated and brought over because like I love his stuff. He's got like this really kinetic punk rock energy to him, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
his stuff's just fun. Is just fun. Like even the stuff of his that I have that's in French that I can't read. I love just looking at it.
yeah, it's good stuff, man. I really enjoyed this, and I looked for volume 2. Oh, here's a chapter break. Like I was saying, love his chapter breaks.
Yeah,
I
this
think
one's
this is
really
based
cool.
off a poster, right? This is based off an old poster of something, right?
Yeah, I think it's
I
an
think
old rock and roll poster, right? Concert
could
poster.
be. Yeah, it looks like it anyway. Yeah, for sure.
It also reminds
Good.
me of an old Fantagraphics book. It got that Hernandez brothers look to it, man. Kind of looks like a Love and Rockets type thing, or
Yeah. Yeah, it's good stuff. Oh, here's another one like that you love. The small panels breaking down the action and everything.
yeah,
I love how the panels overlap each other, and it's pretty cool. It's fun. Really embodies the chaos. And then all of his vampire boy goes nuts on all his groupies, just beating
yeah,
shit out of them.
yeah. There is some pretty disturbing stuff in this book. I'm not gonna lie, but like it's a lot more cartoony and fun than Righteous
Oh,
37.
here's your Western guys. They're coming to get her.
Oh
They're
yeah,
take on the Western posse.
they get a big arc in the second book. There's like a good almost half of the books about her taking on Mama's gang, and it's really nasty, man. Like he's really good at drawing fuckers with no teeth. Like he like studied drawing white trash or something, man. Because like that whole first half of the first book is just full of it.
Yeah, because yeah, and these cowboys don't ride horses; they drive rat rods, like
Yeah.
little hot rods. Yeah, instead of horses. Oh,
Oh,
look,
dude,
explosion.
throw up the little card that they give her, man, because like you get to see like that thing is in so many action scenes in the next book, and it's awesome. The little car with
At the end, the little car she gets right at the end.
yeah, dude, her little car is awesome.
Oh, that one. There it is.
Yeah, straight up. She
Like a Herbie style car, kind of.
yeah, but the front opens up, so she like kicks it open, and she's just like,
oh, she just okay. She like goes, lets it just fires away.
So yeah, the actual front of the car is like just a hatch, basically that she kicks open, and she just like swings. Yeah, some really cool action scenes in book.
Good stuff, man. I love it, and it's got a little slip. Oh yeah, so see, like this. Is this the pinks more like in the rest of the series?
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's pink like in Beatdown. That's like the pink from Beatdown.
Yeah, the next book it starts out in it's blue, and then like it goes into pink like that, and then it's like it's half the page is like pink and half of it's blue. Like they kind of start smudging like the.
So man, I'm Jen Woodall must have her book Magical Beatdown must have been influenced or inspired by this then, because that's what hers is. Hers is pink and blue. So unless they both got inspired by something else that I'm not aware of. So
But yeah, Bambi and her pink gun, like it's not ever going to be like one of my favorite mangas ever, but I do absolutely love it. It's one of my prized
fun.
possessions, and yeah, it's a 7.5 out of 10 in my opinion. Like
Oh yeah, I'd even put it up to an 8.
I would
I
love to read
enjoyed it.
more because like in the second book it ends on such a cliffhanger because she's about to go to war with this luchador called Iron Mask, I think, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly. Kind of like this Darth Vader luchador guy, and like I really wanted to see where that goes, and like I'm
Like
just been in suspense ever since. You know what I mean?
if you like books that are just fun, that not like zero pretension, just really making books just because they're like it feels like he had a blast making this, right? Like just action, just whatever. Like the characters are wacky, fighting like you said, cowboys, like old mobsters. You got a vampire Elvis as your main villain. And she's dragging around this little brat who likes to just eat junk food. Oh, and that's one thing. Her body's a temple, right? She doesn't put anything. She's
Yeah.
a virgin, and she won't eat anything that's got preservatives or stuff
Oh,
in it. So
antibiotics. Yeah, she like beats the hell out of this guy for giving her chicken. This got antibiotics in it.
yeah, yeah,
Want me to put this in my perfect body? Yeah,
yeah.
she's
My perfect body. Yeah, and supposedly she's 16, and you get a few naked scenes of her. So I don't know if that raises any flags for people, but anyway,
well, it's legal age over there, but like
yeah.
I guess it's still, I guess, creepy. I don't know. It's from a different time.
Yeah, it's from a different time, like turn of what late 90s, early 2000s. This came out
But like,
around that period. Hmm.
yeah, but like legal age is 16 over there, so I don't. It is what it is, man.
Well, it does warrant
I don't want to get
18
into
plus, 18 plus on the back, so they'd let you know. But yeah, it's fun. It's good. I enjoyed it. There's no sex scenes in it because she refuses to do any kind of sexual things because her body's
well,
pure. She's got to.
they they do show kind of like all the dead people from like the Gaba King sex, but like that's kind of it. And
Yeah,
then like there is like a cover that he drew of her like topless where she's wearing a cowboy hat, right?
yeah, that's in the back. I don't know if it's cover. I won't show it because you know. But yeah, well, I can put my fingers there so you don't see it.
But like yeah, most of it's for I would say is for the gore.
Yeah,
Yeah, there we
yeah, yeah. That's and there's different iterations of that illustration with the title. I saw online. There's a bunch of different ones. So, and it's fun. They give you a little like, what will happen next on all those little blurbs.
yeah.
On
He
like it gives you kind of like those like what will happen in the next installment. All those little blurbs kind of telling you what will happen next, this and that. So it kind of gets you hyped up for the next chapter, which was fun. Good. It's good. It's a good. It was fun, man. I'm happy I found it and read it because now I got to see the Rottweilers coming out of the guy's wrist. Yeah. So yeah, man, those are their two books for this week. Yeah, good stuff.
Okay, cool. But yeah, that I'm glad you were able to get that though, man. Like I've always really enjoyed the book, and we're gonna try to get into more manga. Like we got a episode we're planning where we're gonna talk about Lady Snowblood. I
Mhm.
have the manga for that, and Joe does as well. He actually has the PDFs for it, so I'm hopefully he's gonna send those to me, so we'll have pictures when we cover that one. And we're gonna talk about the films too. We're gonna do an adaptation to
Yeah. And
original.
Juan is on board for the other book you posted. He bought them and everything too.
Die Wergelder.
Yeah, yeah. Juan's down for that one.
Some
Yeah. So
Haruki.
this is so that's a BMW. Randy said
Yeah, it's
a BMW Aceta.
yeah. I guess that's what that little thing's called. Because I seen a car that like that in a British movie. There's a movie called Dead Man Shoes with Patty Cosendine, where he's got a car that looks like that. And so like I knew it
Opens from the front. Yeah.
it was based on a real car. I just didn't know what it was called.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, man. So 2 great books that I definitely recommend. This one is definitely more like funny, like Johnny said. It's got some more humorous tone stuff in it. Like it's more silly, right? It's ultra violent, but it's really silly. The violence is over the top, unrealistic for the most part, but it really fun stuff. Like you said, if you're into like those extreme
Like if you like movies by Takashi Miike or like Sion
mm,
Sono or Katsuhisa Ichi or any
this will be right up your alley. Yeah.
yeah, straight up.
Yeah. And I mean, Righteous Thirst, great read. If you're looking for something to read that won't require much time, and like if you're on a time restraint, this is a great one to pick up. The full story. It comes to a conclusion at the end. It's not a continuing story. So great book.
Man,
Fantastic.
Look at that cover though. Put that back up. Look at the townscape back there, man. Like that's a beautiful piece of modern art, in my opinion, dude. God.
Oh yeah, he's clean. Like I'd say Andre's art. How would you compare? Like, if people want to know what it's like, what's the artist that did? I'd say like Frank Quitely, but he doesn't have that weird edge to his art. You know what I mean? Not quite like Ice Cream Man, but he's got a clean style, like a minimalist style to his lines and everything. Like he doesn't do a lot of hatching. He doesn't, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess he is kind of a more photorealistic version of Marazio. Is a way to put it. Like I guess like Facavia a little bit, but he's like a more detailed Francesco Facavia.
He's kind of got that good middle ground, right? Where it's not too busy. Like there's a lot going on, but it's not busy. You know what I mean? He simplifies it.
The guy that did the Kali, I would put him closest, probably the artist to Kali.
Samelin?
Yeah.
Is it Robert Sam? I got it right here somewhere. Where was it? Kali. I have it right beside me somewhere.
Maybe Larocque, the guy that did Almighty. He does motion and characters almost. And there's a couple of guys that are a little bit, but like I don't know. Like there's a kind of a better realism to Andre's art than I'd say either of the two that I just mentioned. But yeah, that
Robert Samelin. Yeah. It's good. Really good stuff. Like I really enjoy it. Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that BMW came out in the early 60s, Joe.
Early 60s? Nice. So like the swinging 60s, man. Good stuff.
Cool. Yeah, man. Like good stuff. I highly rate both books. Highly recommend both of them, even though one of them might be a little bit hard to get in print. I'm pretty sure if you know how to look for manga online, Bambi and the Pink Gun, at least the 2 English volumes, should be pretty easy to find and read. I just didn't want to look for them and all that.
Yeah.
For the show.
Yeah, man. So yeah, man, that's it. That's our episode.
Yeah, buddy. We're going to be back Tuesday, probably with a big Tuesday episode, or probably might talk about Gotham Central if we can't think of anything better, but like, don't hold us to that. But it's probably a fair bet we might talk about it. So
maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll hammer it out. But yeah, until Tuesday, you guys keep it clever. All right, take it easy, y'all.
Have a good weekend.